What are the 5 houses that will dictate whether you're going to have a successful career in this lifetime? Hi, I'm Holly Hall from Askhollyhall.com. There is actually a lot more involved than just that. So let me break it down. And we're only going to talk about the 12 houses. And this is what I use in Sidereal astrology. So actually, every single house can determine your success, but you determine what success means for you. And astrologically, I can see that as well. Now, let's look at them all. The first house, when it comes to career, means that it feels like that you need to be identified in your career. It's your sense of identity. If you got a lot of planets in that first house, specifically your sun, it becomes who you are. And you want to have recognition in the workplace, and you want to feel that people look up to you, admire you. You need something that's adventurous, and you don't get bored easily. The second house is about money. How are you valued? And a lot of people will place value on the money that they make and what their paycheck looks like. But really what it comes down to is a sense of value. But when you have a lot of planets in the second house, you do pretty well financially, depending on whether they're squares or oppositions. But you do focus on your financial abundance. The third house has to do with your education and being transient. You like change. You could be a writer. You could be a teacher in that third house, or you could have anything to do with communication and transportation. You take a look at, this computer that I'm looking at right now is a source of communication. Transportation could be a mechanic, or driving a long haul, or even traveling, or being a teacher. That's a form of communication too. So the third house is all around constantly working with the mind, learning, facilitating how you use your voice and communication, etc. And the fourth house, that's that stay-at-home mom kind of thing, stay-at-home dad. I got to have a work-life balance I got a personal balance. I don't just work for the paycheck. You might work for the mortgage though, because the fourth house and your children, because that's the children and the home life. But your personal life is extremely important, and that negates success for you. If I can have a good working life that allows me to have an amazing personal life, that's all I care about. The fifth house, that has to do with having fun and playfulness. And if you're not having fun and having play and being creative in your work environment, it's just not going to jive for you. It's not going to sit well. You'll always feel dissatisfied. And that's the house of real estate as well. So, hey, maybe you'll be in real estate. The sixth house, that has to do with serving. I need to serve people. You might actually, be a server or a cashier, or you might be in the healthcare industry. There's a need to focus on nutrition, coworkers. If you're not happy with your coworkers, you're not happy at all. And that's the success of the sixth house. The seventh house is more of a partnership. I want fairness in the workplace. You might even desire to be partnered up with somebody in that workplace, or work in the legal field, or places where you see there's injustice or being unfair. I've got another client who is very heavily involved in the union. And that's very much seventh house. The eighth house is around psychology, but other people's money. So even investments, wealth investment, insurance, death, dying, sexuality, psychology. That's all involved in feeling successful when you have a lot of planets in the eighth house. And then the ninth house is further education and traveling. And therefore, you'll continuously want to further your education. And you might even do it through having cultural experiences while you're traveling. It's also around publishing. The third house is around writing. So you could write a book or be a writer, or creative writing. And then the ninth house is around publishing. Will that book get published? Can you get through the publishing process of it? If you've gone to education and you've become a doctor or a hairdresser, you might end up teaching those subjects if you have a lot of planets in the ninth house, especially if they're triggered, through a transit. The 10th house is kind of a self-employment feeling. It feels like I need to be self-employed. I need to work for myself. I need to be the boss of me, or I need to be in an autonomous position where I am more in control of my work environment. And the 11th house is a humanitarian, but you also like working with the general public and working in large organizations where there's people, and in technology as well. The 12th house, that's more institutionalized work, or you want to work on your own, as prisons, hospitals, institutions are also educational systems, etc. And it can also be the intuitive side of working. The healers are all in the 12th house. So there you go, the work environment in all 12 houses. Namaste.